All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So last week, both Michael Anthony and Sammy Hagar announced that they would be putting out music from the Van Hagar era, which I think honestly is the first time I've heard them publicly refer to themselves as Van Hagar. If you know the history of Van Halen, when Hagar joins the band, uh, it was thought that maybe they would change the name from Van Halen to something else. And the people who are a little skeptical of the new Van Halen often said, oh, it's just Van Hagar. It's not actually Van Halen. And then that just became a way to sort of categorize the music from the Van Halen era to the Van Hagar era. You never heard anyone say, Van Roth, right? Because that just doesn't have a ring to it, number one. And number two, nobody, that's why a lot of people thought, hey, the Roth era is the authentic era. Whereas Hagar gets there and he puts his stamp on everything. And Hagar and Halen, they kind of, it's like the same word basically with one letter or two letters or three letters. Okay, so there's a bunch of letters messed up, but Hagar, Halen, you know where I'm going. So what's interesting, though, is they're taking the brand and they're kind of repackaging it a little bit and saying, okay, this is our era. We're going to put out clips. We're going to put out little nuggets. Sammy says there are a lot of nuggets, all right? I don't know if they're chicken nuggets or if they're gold nuggets, but we'll find out. So far, there have been a couple of pretty decent video releases, one of Dreams, which a really good version from 1993. And that's a song, by the way, that Roth can't sing. There's no way. There's just, they hired Sammy to be a vocalist. Dave was a showman. Sammy was a vocalist. And Sammy, even to this day, has some pretty good vocal chops, whereas Dave, not so much. But the announcements were kind of interesting. And if you go back and look at the video that Sammy Hagar posted, he says, Mikey and I have been checking out all our vintage footage of stuff we've been doing over the years. Again, not really grammatically correct. And he goes, with Van Hagar years. No, that's not the president of the United States talking. That's actually Sammy Hagar and all that. And we found some of the coolest stuff and we're digging. We're finding nuggets every day, and we're going to share them with you. Those nuggets. Michael Anthony says, hey, everyone keeps asking us, why don't you post more of the Van Hagar years stuff? Well, guess what? Notice how he calls it the Van Hagar years stuff. I'm sure the fans were just saying, hey, you got any unreleased stuff you could put out there? So Michael Anthony says, you got it. We're going to go dig through some of the archived stuff. Where is this stuff archived? Is it at the Warner Brothers studios somewhere? Not the ones where they did the Looney Tunes cartoons, but, where they have the music archived. Is that where it's archived, or is it in Sammy Hagar's attic? It's interesting. Who owns this stuff, and why didn't it come out sooner? Well, Ed's not here anymore, so that might have something to do with it. There have probably been a few legal hurdles to jump over in order for this stuff to be shared with folks. And again, they talk about their performance of Dreams at the Shoreline Amphitheater at Mountain View in Mountain View, California. And in any event, they then make some comments about these unreleased nuggets. So interesting, very interesting stuff. And will they promote this as a brand, as a thing? We know that Sammy is a really good promoter of brands and inventor of brands like the Cabo Wabo, like his tequila, like I guess he's got whiskey now, and also his television show there for a while, the Road Trip Show, which was very well watched. It's interesting. It's all part of this mystique of Van Halen, probably the most under-marketed band over the last 20 years or so. Obviously, after the Gary Sharon debacle and the original Sammy Hagar debacle and the original David Lee Roth debacle. There's been so much drama in this group and so much uncertainty. You hire a guy, Mitch Malloy, I'll just throw him in here because I was talking about him yesterday, and he thinks he's got the gig. Lot in common with Jeff Scott Soto when you think about it. He's got the gig, and then all of a sudden they're on stage hanging out with David Lee Roth at the MTV Music Awards, and Mitch Malloy's like, no, I'm not getting into this. And it's crazy because he sounded great with Van Halen. He would have been an amazing singer. And yes, I'm going to say this, he would have been far better than Gary Cherone. I like Gary Cherone as a singer, but Mitch Malloy's style and vocal, his tone just went really well with Ed's guitar playing. So on that note, maybe Mitch Malloy has got a few unearthed nuggets of his own. I don't know, but the Sammy ones and the Michael Anthony ones, those will be, I'm sure, coming out sporadically. And if you're a fan of Van Halen, you should go check it out. And in the meantime, maybe there'll be merchandise that will be available, new Van Hagar gear that you can purchase on the new Van Hagar website, which might be up and running soon. Don't know. In any event, if I just gave people ideas, you need to send me a little portion of the proceeds. By the way, you can help me directly by supporting me over on Patreon for $1 a month and just by watching and subscribing. Thanks again. I'll be back soon. See you later.